It's John, I'm back. It's now 3:06 p.m. Once again, it's March 2nd, 2022. It's a Wednesday. It's the day after my mother's funeral. And I'm going to sit just to the left here. They moved my father's stone, which hadn't been moved in almost 35 years. He's been here since 1987. So I'm going to sit on his stone. They moved it to allow for my mother there. It's like a double grave. So they'll replace it once the ground settles. But I just want to talk a little and mention at the forefront that I had a beautiful display of flowers, with a nice white banner, which I saw yesterday. And maybe I'm misunderstanding. I didn't know if they put them on the coffin and bury it. I thought they laid the flowers on top. So I'm going to sit and talk. Hopefully the wind doesn't drown me out. Okay. Come on. I've been coming out here 35 years, and I would often comment that I say the same things to my father, about the neighborhood and how old he would be, how many years he's here. And this time, well, Mom has joined him. And I wasn't sure that I should come out the very next day, but it's a day about 52 degrees with breeze, and I thought it would be good. Yesterday I was rushed because it was just as I mentioned earlier, it was just myself and the undertaker and 4 or 5 guys that sat on the side listening to the prayers the undertaker recited. It was almost like they couldn't wait to get me out of here. Not that I was going to sit for 2 hours. It was a pretty cold, cool day, but I said, I'll come out today, not so rushed. Anybody watching this, of course, I don't mean it to be depressing. It's just a part of life. And I guess, right, everyone goes through sooner or later. I'm always with the music videos, but, it's hard to create, when you're not happy, when you're not feeling good. So my father's reunited with Lucille. He's been here since 1987. This July would be a full 35 years. The cemetery, this is supposed to be the veterans section. At one time they had a designation down the end there for veterans, So my parents purchased these plots in the 1976. That was prepaid, but you still have to pay the cemetery to open the ground, and of course, they're not 1970s prices anymore. You never know how you're going to react. You think you know yourself. You're not sure. Even you don't know. I tend to repeat myself with these videos, but all through my life I bought my mother flowers, like roses. Well, she liked assortment, but I've always bought her roses. And I made sure I had roses with the casket at the end. Maybe I just don't understand. Maybe they put them on top. I should have noticed it. They started to lower the casket yesterday, and I remember her telling me when she was a little girl, she saw that in the cemetery. It bothered her. So when they started to lower it, I kind of turned away, and I didn't notice if the flowers were on there or not. I mean, I knew the undertaker had them, but Mom, I love you. I'm so sorry, you know. You're reunited with Pop now. Yeah. You're reunited. I used to, I would bring the cell phone and put it on speaker, and my mother would be home. Well, she used to come out when she was younger, up to about 10 years ago. She used to come out, and I'd put the speaker, and I'd have her, talk to Benny, hi Benny, and of course she always missed him, Now you're together again, huh? After almost 35 years. Pop, you have company. You got room down here? Yeah. I'm so sorry. I didn't know. After my father died, it was a long time. Well, probably he died in the summer of '87. I think it was the fall before it came out. With my one cousin, Donna, I think it was. Brought my mother and myself out. But I just felt rushed yesterday, and because I didn't have any family here, really. So I said, let me come out today. Maybe it'll be different, and it is. It's a peaceful place here, I remember when my father was brought here, these line of trees, it's beautiful. And another month or two, it gets warmer, nicer. It's way in the back of the cemetery, so his plate there never was vandalized. Most here good because at night it's way in the back of the cemetery, so I think that helped from any type of defacing here, any type of vandalism. I love you, Mom. I love you, Pop. Again, I don't mean for this to be depressing, and it's a change from making music, of course. But my mother had fractured her hip. She was slowing down in her. She died. She was 86, but she was slowing down in her 85th year, walking. She was a good walker all her life, and she fell and fractured her hip in December 17th of 2021. She was trying to recover. Well, she had a hip operation. Spent 5 days in the hospital. Then they sent her to try to learn to walk again at a rehab center. And it was hard for her because the whole reason she fell to begin with was she was weak. The bone gave way, I guess. And then about a month and a half in, she had a stroke early February. And then it was hard. She couldn't swallow or eat. So, within 2 weeks she was gone. So. And it's fresh, of course it's fresh in my mind. And I saw her the last 2 months, not being able to recover, especially from the stroke. That was it. She only lasted 2 weeks after that. you know when these things happen, there's so much to do, with the arrangements and this and that, and sometimes it's not the proper mourning, but, in mourning, but, well, most of you watching this, if you're watching, you've been through it, a lot of you, in your early 50s, 60s, I'm in my 60s, early 60s, so you know. Now it's maybe another month, Pop, your birthday's, I figured out your birthday. My father's birthday is April 6th, so I always, as I say, close to 35 years, I've been coming out like April 6th, and then in June for Father's Day. So his birthday, I think, is about 5 weeks, maybe exactly from today. So, as the ground settles, they'll move the stone back. In fact, my father's marker will eventually be engraved with Mom's name, I guess. He actually had to move it. He moved another stone too. Both my parents were from Pennsylvania. We're here now in Iselin, New Jersey, section of Woodbridge, New Jersey. But both my parents they came out here in the 1950s. Although my mother, as a little girl, had been out to visit her sister when she was smaller, off and on. But my mother came out here for good 1957 with my father, and settled in New Brunswick. She was born in Nanticoke and raised in Wilkes-Barre. He was born, I think, in Nanticoke and raised in Mackinac, Pennsylvania. Again, I'll probably edit this if I put it on a Facebook or wherever, but I think sometimes people see things like this, they think, oh, I'm not watching that. Too depressed, but I think it's important maybe to talk, to express, whether it's me or you, or it's important to acknowledge what has happened. Maybe there's some healing there, I hope. Not now, in the future. I come here, I mentioned that my mother passed on that, remember everybody's going crazy with the 222, that stuff, February. She passed it was like 11 close to 11:30 at night, I think 11:27 p.m. on that day, February 22nd, 2022. So I don't know, people, they get married on that day, they go crazy. I think when it was, what's another one, like January 11th, 2011, when it's all like the same number. But anyway, that happened to be the day she went. It was very late in the evening. Maybe if I one day think about it, it'd be nice to have, this was a veteran section, and of course my father was in the Navy, so my mother's here with him now. She wasn't a veteran, but she was able to be here. I wonder if they have a, I should look to see if a place for me somewhere around here, you know. After she fractured her hip December 17th of 2021, she never made it back to the house. They wanted, at the end of her life after the stroke, they wanted me to bring her back to her place, but she was so sick. You know, they agreed to take her. Her last days were in the hospital in Robert Wood Johnson, New Brunswick. But after the stay in a hospital for so many days, the social service people come after you almost. You know, like, what's the plan? What's the plan? Like, you know, it's another way of saying the insurance is only going to cover for a specified time. Same thing with the temporary nursing home where she was trying to learn to walk again. The woman called me up from the nursing home where she was staying temporarily. She says, what's the plan? There was no peace, you know. Out the next day. I'll be back if everything's okay. I'll be back in. Okay? All right. I love you, Mom. I love you, Dad. I'm so sorry. I miss you. I wanted to come out, and today was a pretty good day. So, okay. All right. Okay, everybody. Thank you. Thank you for watching. I mean, not to bring you down, just to, you know, show you my situation on this day, which is now March 2nd, 2022. And again, her funeral was just yesterday, March 1st. And she left us on February 22nd of 2022. So I thank you for watching. I'll probably edit here and there. I have to, because it's even too long for me to watch, you know. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, I love you, Mom. I love you, Dad. Maybe one day I'll get a plot for myself. I'm glad you're together. That's good. Okay. I love you. Okay. All right. Time now 3:36. As always, I thank you for watching.